It's now time for Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of the staff nor the management of KWN TV 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Now, let's go Around Town on KWN TV 7.
Everybody does it.
Good afternoon, Dade County and Trenton. This is Monda and Ann coming to you live. Okay.
Yeah.
Take that back. We're not Monda and Ann.
So you say you'd probably have to be Monda because I think I'm taller than you. And Ann's
Well,
taller.
everybody's taller than me. I'm shrinking.
You're at that age a lot. See, I'm
Yeah.
at that age where my eyesight's getting better.
Well, I didn't have to have my glasses when I went back to have them changed. He said, your vision's better than it was last time, so at least, but I'm telling you, they got to be some good to this
Getting older
golden
thing,
year.
yeah. Because my vision, like the last time I went last year, it was a negative 350, which if I took them out, you would disappear if I didn't have my contacts in.
It'd be a lot of time I'd be taking mine out.
And now they're right. Now they're negative 250, but this eye's bifocal.
Well, you got me on all that stuff. All I know is I can still see good enough to get to the table.
There you go.
And eat. But
There you go. Now I do have a little trick because I play music and whenever I play a funeral, I take my contacts out and I wear my glasses. And then it comes time to sing, I take my glasses off and I can't see nobody. So as long as I don't see nobody crying,
you
I
do
can make
all-
it through
okay,
the
I see.
songs. Yeah.
You get kind of emotional. Well, you'd have got emotional then at my house yesterday. Nobody died, but we had something to happen we've never had. And you people out there, if you're feeding, still got nectar up for the hummingbirds, and we do because it's getting, they're gorging themselves now.
Getting ready for the winter.
And we've got one at between, it's got the little rim goes around the feeder, and then there's an open space, and they sit on that little rim and they drink. Well, my wife calls me down there. I can tell there's something going on. The way she says it, she comes in, and she said, "Will you get it?" I can't. Well, bless the little feller's heart. He'd fell through that between it, and his beak was caught in the thing, and it's bending his beak, and I don't know how long he'd been there. But anyway, I got him up and looked. He had a little bit of blood on his wing, but it was still able to flutter. But I took him out, and he started flying. I thought, well, he's okay, and he did. And he went about 20 yards and
fell
in the grass. I took him in the house and put him up a while, and thought, well, nothing else I can do. Put him back out. I took him out and hung him not hung him, but set him on in a crepe myrtle bush.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there, and I thought, if he gets better and able to fly, he will. But bless the little feller's heart, he fell to the ground after a while. So he was but it's just something about watching that little hummingbird and
I wonder if he
pitiful sound.
aspirated with his little beak stuck in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was bent. I don't mean to. I mean it bothered me really. But we had one 2 weeks ago, and to get this, we sat there every night, my wife and I did, and we watched this spider build a big web in the corner of our porch.
I have one. Yeah.
Well, but we got a hummingbird feeder within a foot of that hanging down, and that's where. I get out of my truck and walking up the side in front of my house. I saw that spider going back up the web one day. Pretty good sized spider. And I looked, there's something caught in. I thought it was a leaf caught in his web. It wasn't. It's a hummingbird. Had flew into the web, and the spider went down and bit it. Well, my granddaughter was there anyway. I took it and I cleaned all the web. I thought, and I hold it out, and it's about 8 foot to the concrete. So I hold it out and think, well, he's gonna fly. So he did. He flew straight off into my hand, and I go down and said, well, that ain't good. So I took him in the house, and I lay him in drooping in one of his wings. That's the reason I thought the spider bit him there. It is not enough to paralyze him all over. Nonetheless, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, my granddaughter said, well, Papa, if he gets loose in the house, able to fly, what are we going to do? About that time, he come up out of that box I had him in and flew up to the window, and he was going 90 miles a minute. So I guess we're fixing to find out. But I was able to get him, take him outside, and off he went. So if you've got any big spider webs next to your feeders, they can hold a hummingbird.
I was going to say, you'd think that a hummingbird would still be a little bit too much for a spider web,
the weight of those.
They're an eighth of an ounce.
It don't weigh as much as a penny.
Yeah.
It's really odd.
Well, I have one that builds out on my porch, and I watch him every night. His name's George.
Oh,
Just,
we hadn't named all. Oh,
Yeah.
the spider?
Yeah.
Well, ours is dead now.
Oh.
Yeah, spider. He mysteriously disappeared that day.
Really? How about that? So he wouldn't have the guts to do that again?
Yeah. I thought, if you're gonna kill my hummingbird, you're out of here, buddy.
You were talking about the hummingbirds, but I was watching a video on Facebook, and these people had a squirrel and they had nursed it back to health and everything, and it was release day, and they let it go on a tree, and it starts walking up a tree. A cat runs up, grabs the squirrel.
One of them oops
It takes
moments.
off, and they were like, they didn't know what to do. They were just frozen. They were like, oh my God.
Well,
But
you know,
that's the natural order.
it is the balance of nature. You know,
There's a food chain.
you wonder some things. You know, I know. You know, we always say God don't make mistakes,
Right.
but you wonder why God created, if you believe in creation, and I do. I think everything's created by God, all the way down to the roach
mosquito.
bug.
Mosquitoes.
And why roach bugs? They
Why
serve
roaches?
absolutely no.
To
well,
feed
they
other
do.
things.
Take it back.
What? Roach bugs have a purpose?
They have a purpose. Look at all the jobs of
Well-
exterminators wouldn't have.
If it wasn't for the
But
nasty
I
people.
hope they don't get them at my expense because
Yeah.
everything does serve a purpose when you think.
But what about mosquitoes?
Well, yeah. So
What? Wasps.
wasp.
Well, they're the bee family.
Yeah, they can help pollinate.
They help
kinda, maybe.
repollinate flowers and stuff.
Well,
But mosquitoes do absolutely nothing. Now, if a mosquito sucked out fat, I could understand their purpose, but
well,
they don't.
Maybe they do cholesterol out of the blood. Well, when you think about it now, here again, I think it's heartworms in dogs that are caused by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Okay, veterinarians got it.
Oh,
Look
look
at
at
all
you!
they
Look
make.
at you making the
I'm
link.
I'm telling you, the bottom line is the economy. And so you
But
look at all the heartworm pills and
But without the
medicine.
mosquitoes, we would still have the dogs, and vets would still have a job.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be selling heartworm pills.
We wouldn't need it, and that would make everything else go down because
Yeah.
they don't need the extra funding to make the heartworm pills to take
Well,
money out of people's pockets.
And I don't remember the number, speaking of mosquitoes, but over this in Alabama, and I don't know where it's over the whole state, or kind of condensed somewhere. Was it 28 cases of West Nile virus?
Isn't
I
it,
think
isn't
I
it
read the other
malaria
day.
too that's spread by mosquitoes?
Mosquitoes
Malaria?
are, yeah. I've been to
Yeah.
Africa, and we always would take a malaria pills before we go, and in some places you sleep with a net over you because the mosquitoes over there.
Have you seen some of these mosquitoes out here that look like little pterodactyls?
They look like, some of them look like the old what's the plane that couldn't fly over here no more? The
C-130s?
no, it's the big supersonic transport.
Stealth.
No, it was a passenger plane.
Oh.
But anyway, they could fly into France. About the only place they could fly. But anyway, it went up and had the big old nose on it. Went up and then
Oh,
turned.
okay.
And but anyway, that's what some of them mosquitoes look like. And when they bite you, they feel about like that sometimes.
Let me tell you,
They're dangerous.
my demon is katydids. I cannot stand them.
Well, I like to listen to them.
And that's the
Night,
only purpose they
sym-
serve.
The symphony at night, and all the
And
all
I'm
the different
okay
bugs
if they
and
would
critters.
stay in the trees, but they're coming on my porch.
Oh, well, we called them jar flies. I think it was back when. You talking about the big ones? About
The green look
big-
like a
yeah,
flying leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those serve no purpose.
But I don't know though. You go back to what you go back to everything. Everything
Bibli-
depends.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what the bottom line of the food chain is. You just think about it, but everything obviously serves some sort of a purpose, and But
Ron White did a segment, and he was talking about the vegetarians were getting in a big battle with him, and because he eats meat, and he said these cows, they release gastrous pollution. Da 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 da. What are you doing to help save the earth? He said, I'm eating the cows.
there you go. Yeah, one piece at a time.
one piece at a
Like
time.
how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time.
Very slowly.
People out there probably figured out. We hadn't said we have any guests today. We are the guest. Looks like.
We're the guest.
And, I'm the guest, the guest host. So
We may have one sneak in here because I sent a message to him, and
sneak in. That sounds strange, but anyway.
right. But we do have stuff to talk about. We're having a lot of events coming up in Dade County. I want to touch on that when we come back, and I want to talk about the Lineman School and just one of a big impact that has here,
It does. Really,
and the impact that it has nationwide.
and they've got right now the class that's in now has been 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Is still their largest class ever coming in, and I guess they're still expecting to grow more. It's it's just amazing how many, how that started and what it's evolved to today with the number of.
Yeah, it started out with 16 people, I think, and now it's 225 plus every 15 weeks.
And I noticed when I was going into the county building a minute ago, by the way, this is the day, one of the Mondays that the DDS is here. If you're looking to know when they're here and get your license renewed, they're here today, and they are here every other Monday. They're not here like
right
first and third or whatever. It's every other Monday. But anyway, I saw a lot of the linemen going in because that is one thing that
training.
You get with is going to a lineman, and I've talked to a lot of the guys about this, is you get CDL training, and if you decide climbing poles and that kind of thing is not your future, but
you got
truck
your
driving
CDL.
is, you got a CDL. And that's part of that, and that goes back to that being a joint, because between the lineman school and the county being able to have that back here, because if you want to know how many places you can go on Monday and get your license renewed, Dade County, because those people that are coming in here are off somewhere else. They're doing this, and that's why it was a work in progress to get it done, get to come here, but it was a joint venture between the lineman school and the county, because it benefited them with all those guys being able to go up there to our
test, right.
jail building, we call it, and be able to do all their computer work and testing, because they were having to go all the way to Dalton to do that before. And it was a continuous going and coming and going and coming. Now, they still can't do their driving part of it.
But this is more
but
class time they get, and more poll time they get, because they run here, they do their tests, they go back.
They're just a few miles away from it. So it's been great for them, and it's been great for a lot of citizens. I don't know when I heard a complaint. The biggest complaint we heard was we went to Rock Springs, and they said we didn't have what we needed to get our license, so they had to come all the way back to Dade County and maybe find a birth certificate, a light bill, the things you can use, to get it, which may sound crazy, but that was their policy. And
well, I think it's crazy too when you cross states. Like I moved from Tennessee to Georgia, I had to have all that information to get my Tennessee license. If my Tennessee license was still valid, why did I have to have it to get my Georgia license?
Well,
I can see if it had expired.
You might have been a fictitious character.
Right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about events that are coming up, and we eventually are going to get into a video about the lineman school.
In for breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Bamacide. Enjoy a family atmosphere with good home cooking, including burgers, steaks, fish, plate lunches, and more at Bamacide. Top it all off with a homemade banana split or other delicious dessert. At Bamacide, watch your favorite games on the big screen, especially those SEC rivalries. Open Tuesday through Saturday until 8:30 Eastern, open till 3 Eastern on Sunday, and closed on Monday. Dash says, dash on in to Bamacide. 632-3436 for Bamacide. Alabama Highway 75, just on the Bama side.
Trust and commitment go hand in hand at Whitwell Pharmacy. Pharmacists Ann Campbell and Steve Ireland, along with their experienced staff, work hard every day to deliver the prescription needs of the Whitwell area. Whitwell Pharmacy is open 6 days a week for your convenience. Whitwell Pharmacy, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and Saturday from 9 until noon. Call 658-6939. Proudly serving the Valley from Whitwell Pharmacy.
Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net. Delivering top-quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Cervical cancer screenings now available at Northeast Alabama Health Services.
At First Southern State Bank, putting you first is our priority. First with convenience, with branches in 6 great communities: Fort Payne, Rainsville, Scottsboro, Higdon, and our Stevenson office now recently enlarged and remodeled. First with our friendly, experienced staff, always helpful and ready to serve. And first with our mobile on-the-go banking. Our mobile app is fantastic, user-friendly, secure, and free. So whether it's online or in person, you are our first priority at First Southern State Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Yeah, next break, I got a good one for you, too.
We're sitting here telling jokes.
Yeah, but we're all out of jokes now. So
Yeah,
y'all
we're out
missed
of
them.
jokes, so y'all will never know.
You'll never know. I was at the flight park one day, and we were all in a big group, and we were telling jokes. And we've been telling jokes for probably 20, 30 minutes, just going around the circle. This guy walks up, he says, "What are y'all laughing about?" And everybody, like in the same order, just went through and said the punchlines of the jokes that we had told. Nobody told the jokes again, just the punchlines. And of course, we got tickled again because we knew what went with it.
He just thought you was drunk or crazy.
And he was there going, huh? You know?
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Alrighty, you say we got a lot of events coming up. Now, I'll start this off. You
Yeah.
probably know we have an event coming up in about 44 days, 43 days now. It's called an election, and it is probably nationwide probably one of the most important elections that we've seen in a long, long time. Everybody knows, you can't help but know, you can't help but hear, it's midterm elections for Senate and Congress, but we also, in our states, many states, and here it's for a governor, lieutenant governor, agriculture commissioner, and secretary of state. Very important offices in the state. And these midterm elections are usually not very well attended. People stay home because they think it doesn't make a difference, but it does. And we also have
It gives you complaint rights.
Yeah.
It gives you rights to complain and voice your opinion.
We have a county commission seat that's up in this one. That some people may think that's all been settled.
District
it's
1?
not. District 1 between Lamar Lowry and Patrick Hickey, who qualified as a Democrat back in the primaries. So we do have a county election coming up here with that. So I just want people to get out and vote. I don't have the dates before me, but the early voting will start about 20 days or so before the election on November 6th, or sometime in October. It will start, but it's very important. Tomorrow night I'm going over to, we've been asked to come over to Walker County, and I was there actually last Tuesday on Judy O'Neill's program. Myself and Steve Tarvin, who is a representative over on that side of the mountain, Steve Henry, who is the chairman of the Catoosa County Board of Commissioners, and in the head, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he is the chairman of the Republican Party in Walker County. And that program was about the same thing tomorrow is going to be. It's asking or letting people ask and hear from counties with a Board of Commissioner type of government. Dade County and Catoosa County are, even though ours differ, they're not the same. But of course, in Walker County is a sole commissioner, but they have a referendum on their ballot asking people, should Walker County go to a Board of Commissioners. So that's why we're going over to Ridgeland High School tomorrow evening, and it's some group over there that wanted different people to come, and just so they can hear how we think it works for us. We're not going over there to sell them either way. We don't have a dog in that fight.
No. But as big as Walker County is, it seems like that would be a more efficient.
Well, too,
for me.
And if you Google, and by the way, I found out who they are.
Who are they?
They, because everybody out there, you've always heard
they said it.
Say. They say. They, turns out it's Google. There's nothing she don't know. So if you go and Google and ask
I thought Google was a he.
No, on my phone it's a she. So there's two Google, Mr. and Mrs. Google. And they have a lot of little Googles running around, I'm sure. But there's nothing she don't know.
I used the term the other day. I told somebody, I said, well, it's Googleable.
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 But I Googled because I thought I knew the answer, and guess what? Some of you looking on out there not going to believe this. I was right. Except for one thing. I was righter than Google was. And I asked the lady at the other end of Google, how many states in the United States have sole commissioners? Well, guess what? There's one. and that is the great state of Georgia that still have sole commissioners. And she says 8. It hadn't been upgraded because I think that number is now 7. And of course, if it passes there in Walker County, it would go down to 6. And actually, most of them are right here in North Georgia.
Right.
You got Chattooga County, Walker County, Murray County, I think Union County, and Bartow County. So 5 of those 7, and I'm not sure if the other 2's not. But anyway, that's on their ballot, and it's very important for them. You know how you feel about it here. As far as the citizens, you know, we went from that. People think it's new. It hadn't. We've been with a 5-man board of commissioners since 1992 or 3, I guess.
Oh, wow.
But we changed because at that time we had a county manager, and they would hire, those commissioners would hire you, let's say, as county manager. Wasn't a big life expectancy or span for county manager. Still is not in most cases. Now, and when I said that we differ from Catoosa County, that's the difference. They still have an elected board with an elected chairman, but they hire a county manager that runs the day-to-day operation instead of where we and a lot of other counties, your county executive is that person. So you're down one person, even though you're, you know. So anyway, they have that on their ballot coming up, and we'll see how that turns out in November, and then they would be going in 2020, I think it is. Which hard to believe, that's not that far away, 2020.
Crazy.
But they would be going to that and electing they came over and talked to us, they not being Google, Shannon Whitfield and several people from Walker County, and was just talking to different counties, and they decided to go with what we have, basically, a little tweak here and there, I think, and the big tweak is, difference is that we're elected at large, and they will be elected by district like we started out here. So that's the big difference in ours and theirs, I think.
Now, you have to live in the district you represent,
You
right?
still have to live in the district. And I was told by a representative that is probably going to change legislatively, if that's a word. And I don't know, I hadn't heard it from anybody else.
From
so
the
don't go
powers
out-
that be.
Don't go out there and say, Robert Goff said it's going to change. I'm saying it is what he thinks it's going to change legislatively, that will not be allowed to elect district commissioners at large anymore, that they will go back and will have to be elected only by the voters in the district that they serve and live in, which would make, if that became a law, would mean that our school board would go back, because that is what led basically to what we do. Is I would hear people say, well, why can I vote for just you as commissioner and no other commissioners, but I can vote for every school board member?
Right.
And that's what drove that, at least here in Dade County and maybe in some others. So, but I was told that will, that may be a thing of the past. I don't know when, and I'm not even sure that it's going to happen. But if the state says that it's not right to do it, and I'm sure it would be maybe a lawsuit somewhere or whatever, I don't know. Just passing on information. So if you want to get on and say I lied, I'm not lying. I'm just passing on information that I've heard that might happen.
Right.
So-
Right. Well, all right. Cody's got some flyers. I don't see him in there, so we may not have the flyers.
I see a hand.
There
it
he
is. He
is.
mysteriously appeared.
He said he's working.
Oh, well, you heard it here first. Cody's working. today.
Any of them. All the flyers that I sent you to replace the other one that looked like that.
Hey, this is live TV. You can holler through the wall.
Well, we can go ahead and start with that one. Yeah, right? All right, so this year, sponsored by Scenic City Auto Detail, we're going to have a haunted garage. It's a walkthrough.
Who's gonna haunt it? You?
I could haunt in the
I didn't mean that
daylight.
like it sounded.
I could haunt in the daylight. It's all right. I could trick or treat over the phone. I mean, it just I've just got that skill about me. But now this will be not kid traumatizing. It will be. I don't want to
Family
say
friendly,
yeah,
maybe.
but not traumatizing. It's still going to be. It's going to be as much fun for the
Right.
adults as it is for the kids. We're working on getting a fear factor set up, so you have to eat weird things. You have to.
Crawly things or
If you're
rare
an
steak. I like mine rare.
adults will have the option to eat crawly things.
I don't think I'm gonna eat you, though. Don't count on me.
The kids were going to have caramel apples.
Well,
You pick out what
I
caramel.
probably
Well,
maybe eat that, I
but you
don't know.
might get an onion. It might be.
Oh, okay.
You know, you may have
Or a-
an onion. So
Or a little bitty green persimmon.
or something, yeah. But the lady that is helping us with this, I want to give a little bit of backstory. Her name is Linda Berry. I worked with Linda years ago when I worked at Food Max, and her husband, she said, you got to come to my house for Halloween because we do a haunted walkthrough. Their backyard walkthrough was better than any paid admission walkthrough I had ever been in. In their backyard, they never charged anybody. This was her husband's Christmas, just like Halloween is with mine. Well, last year, her daughter came home and found Michael in the front yard. He had passed away. That was their daddy, and that was Linda's husband. The daughter found him in the front yard, and so she's kind of been out of it. And Chris with Scenic City Auto Detail had said, hey, let's do a haunted walkthrough and let the proceeds go to Tommy Bradford. So I approached Linda with it. She said, you know what, this is what Michael would want me to do. So Linda's coming to help us do this walkthrough. We're shooting for 8 rooms. You'll have 8 rooms you have to get through before you can get out of it. So it's going to be a real big event. This is October 27th, and this will run in conjunction with Trick or Treat Alley. So Trick or Treat Alley, if Cody's got it ready. There's a Trick or Treat Alley when you have purplish.
Nothing like live TV.
Nothing like live TV. Hey, I did this by myself last
There
week.
it is.
So,
Trick or
so
Treat
there's Trick or
Alley.
Treat Alley. If you are a business and you'd like to participate, you come in, you set up your booth. You can hand out material. We do not sell anything. But we had 2,500 kids through last year. That's a lot of candy.
That was a bunch. Yeah, they were lined up
Around the
all
jailhouse.
the way back down. Yeah.
And I think that was a better route, and we're going to do that. What's the road that runs behind the jailhouse? What is...
What would you hadn't asked me then?
Okay, so the road that runs behind the jailhouse, that's where we're going to have people line up and come around the corner where the Sally Port is.
Oh,
You know.
okay. The
Oh,
different.
You'll
They've
come
always
in.
come in on the other end.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
last year we had them come behind the jailhouse
Yeah,
onto the left side of the library.
yeah.
That's where they started, and we didn't have near the people back up that we did the year before. That
Well,
allowed
I'm
for a
telling
lot
you,
more
it was
room.
if they'd have been strung straight out,
Oh,
year
lot.
before last, I guess. I mean,
Well, we had a few more last year than we did the year before, and
people running out of candy. You know, there's so many, and it's a good thing.
it's a good thing.
It's a
It's
good
for the
thing.
kids. It's for the kids. But this is a chance if you're a business to give back, and you can still advertise for your businesses. But anyway, along with that, this is our 3rd annual zombie walk. Did you get to see any of them? Have you
I
been to
have
any
not
of them?
zombified yet.
We have a really good turnout for this, and there on the bottom left is our shirts. They say, "Don't worry, it's just a scratch." So you know, if you get scratched by a zombie, you turn into one.
Oh, is that how it happens?
Or bit, or now you just have to die because it's in your blood system. But the Walking
Really?
Dead is what we call this. I was sitting on the couch last year and I was watching The Walking Dead, and I thought, well, that spells Dade if you just rearrange
You
them a little bit.
just Change a couple of letters.
Yeah. So we now call it The Walking Dead,
Well,
and
and there again, it's hard to believe we're talking Halloween.
I love it.
Well,
I love it. Is there any more flyers? Yes. Do you remember the movie Children of the Corn?
Yes.
Remember how terrifying that was?
Well, I do, but to me it wasn't that terrifying.
We're having Children of
I
the
remember
Corn.
it got. Yeah, I saw these. Now look how spooky them are.
Right, it's a scarecrow contest for ages 0 to 10. We're going to give trophies for the best boy
That one on
scarecrow
the
and the
right.
best girl scarecrow.
I mean, that would just scare me to death.
I'm
to see
telling
that
ya.
ferocious, and the one in the middle, and the one on the left.
So last year I had a lot of people respond to this, but the weather, it was 46 degrees the day we had this. The next weekend, of course, it was 82.
Oh yeah, yeah. Weather don't always.
But the festivities kick off at 5:30. We are in the process of working on a car show as well. If you have a classic car, truck, motorcycle, rat rod that you would like to put in the car show, it's $20 per car, and those proceeds as well go to benefit Tommy Bradford. And the winner of the car show will lead the parade. We do the walk from the courthouse all the way to Moore's Funeral Home. Where else would you end a zombie walk
Right.
but the funeral home?
Well,
So,
maybe somewhere at the funeral.
the
That
funeral
don't
home.
matter. They're not gonna bury them zombies.
No.
I've just never understood. Now they're already dead, but on that show, and I don't watch it. I've never hadn't really got into zombies. It's your cup of tea, but they're already dead. But they kill them.
Well, you have to make them quit eating people.
Yeah,
They
but
want
if
fresh people.
If they're already dead, why don't they come back to life and be dead again?
They're
don't
the
do it.
Walking Dead. They are. They come back to life, but they're dead walking.
But after you kill them as a Walking Dead, they
Oh,
don't
because you
come-
kill the brain.
Oh,
That's the only way you
well,
can
that
kill
happened
them.
to me a long time.
I know, right? I was brain dead a long time
Yeah.
ago.
They're going to
So-
amputate my body head, try to save my body at one
Well, I
point.
had brain surgery. I was really close.
Yeah.
So, but that's stuff we got going on. New Salem is having their neighborhood day, and it's the first Saturday, I think, in October. I don't have the dates right here in front of me. But it's up on, not New Salem. I said New Salem and I completely lied. It's up on Alabama Highway 75. We'll have more information about that. I'll be talking about it in the morning on the radio, so if you want to hear more about that, tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
A lot
And
of stuff.
we're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back and talk about the storms and talk about the effects and the hurricanes. Yeah.
When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710.
Methamphetamine affects everyone, your neighbors, your friends, and even your family.
Know the signs.
Physical symptoms include you may have extreme difficulty sleeping and even insomnia, and you may lose your appetite.
Know the signs. Please know the signs.
You can seem nervous and anxious and even have paranoia.
Know the signs.
Overheat easily and sweat without even being hot.
Know the signs.
Dilated pupils and even hair loss.
Know the signs.
Hallucinations and delusions. And you can also have tachycardia, which is a rapid heart rate.
Know the signs.
You may have liver damage and loss of skin elasticity.
Know the signs.
You may notice unexplained financial instability and social isolation.
Know the signs.
You may have a false sense of euphoria, coupled with strong depression and even risky behavior, legal trouble, memory loss, and repeated incarceration.
Please know the signs. Unfortunately, we do.
At Reed Funeral Home of Whitwell, a tradition of caring is carried out through a personal commitment to each family. Our experienced staff and funeral directors and embalmers stand ready to help you through your toughest times. We offer every type of funeral service, from traditional to cremation or any combination of life celebration. Depend on the Reed family and Reed Funeral Home of Whitwell, 11675 Highway 28 in Whitwell, 658-5516. Reed Funeral Home.
Rising Fawn Hardware is your place for all your gardening needs. Seeds, onion sets, cabbage, strawberry plants, and more. A complete line of home hardware items, too. Everything for the house, including plumbing, hardware, and metal roofs. Plus, Rising Fawn Hardware has everything you need for your livestock, including name brands like Nutria, Tucker, and Faithway. Always with a hometown atmosphere, it's Rising Fawn Hardware. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Open 8 in the morning till 6 at night, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 8 to noon on Wednesday. Even open on Saturday from 8 until 4. Rising Fawn Hardware.
Tell you, Cody's keeping us
He
on our
do it,
P's
I'm
and
telling you.
Q's, ain't he?
We're back. Well, before we get into what you want to talk about, then we're going to set up a video that's going to take the program out. It's going to be about 15 minutes or whatever. Next Thursday night, not this coming Thursday, but the 4th of October will be the homecoming parade. We're talking about the candy. And of course, you know, somebody said, yeah, we always go to it, and they love to get the candy thrown out. So the football homecoming parade will be next week, next Thursday. And then, of course, the homecoming game on Friday, and they'll have a bonfire at the high school on Thursday and all that. It just happens, though, that I have always made them and love to go and be in them and whatever. But this is on the same night as our county commission meeting. So,
Oh, that's going to be.
somebody asked me at church, have y'all talked about it? I said, no, we haven't talked about it. But
What time is the parade?
the parade is 6, I think, lining up at 6:30 or 6 to 6:30 and starting at 7 here at the Bank of Dade and ending up at Moore Funeral Home. So anyway, that just happens to be on the same night, but that is coming up. And So be just a lot of stuff that's happening in the community, and it's just hard to believe that we're at that time of year.
I think say it's like football just started and we're already having homecoming.
We're halfway. We played the 5th game Friday night, so we've only got 5 left. Tennessee, usually we're a week behind Tennessee, and I think they've only got 3 left now in Tennessee because they started school, started their football games a couple of weeks before we did.
Yep.
And so it's just hard to believe, and, it's flying way too fast.
Are you a Braves fan?
Well, I'm not a baseball fan.
I'm not a baseball fan
But I'm a
either,
Braves
but
fan.
they're on their
if I
way,
had
man.
one. Well, yeah, they built that new stadium and started off really bad.
Yeah.
And everybody thought, man, that didn't do them no good. And here they are. They just clinched their division, and may end up again being in a, nothing to say they won't be in the World Series. They're playing good baseball and got some good people. So
for sure,
we'll see.
All right, we got about 3 minutes here. I want to touch on the lineman school. We talked about the CDL being one of the benefits that you get from it. They also have a crane class, and that's another thing that if you wanted to fall out, if you decide not to be a lineman, you would come out with a crane certificate.
Yeah.
You come out OSHA, you come out CPR certified. There's more than just learning to be a climber there. But it's such a big benefit, I think, here for us, not only because of the revenue, but the tourism that it brings here, because we have a lot for their rodeo. There's only if there's 225 graduating at the rodeo, they'll have 1,200.
Yeah, a lot of people
come in to watch the rodeo, and those people have got to eat somewhere, sleep somewhere. So it's a great benefit. I know I've heard people complain, well, I was behind a group of linemen and they were cussing. If you've never heard a cuss word, I apologize for you. But, if you turn around and say, hey, guys, just be nice about it, they know, if that don't work, call the school. They'll definitely take care of it. But the training these guys go through, it's a 15-week program. I put 2 boys through there, so I've kind of got this part down.
and we know that we can tell the difference, not only in the traffic. A lot of people say, well, that traffic, and that does, but the benefits of it and the fact that it's here in Dade County. But what I was going to say is we have that couple of weeks lapse between this class going out and another class coming in. And we see the difference of it here in our restaurants, because these guys all go somewhere to eat every day.
Yeah, revenue and everything.
Most of them, they go somewhere in or around. I watched the little chicken coop place up here across from the Citizens Bank a couple of days ago, and was looking last week and was looking, and I don't know how many of them pulled up there to go back to that. And so that's good for their business. It's good for the whole economy. And so I'm very pleased to have them here.
And I want to say that they're getting ready to start another campus. So this will be their 4th.
That's my understanding.
Be the 4th campus.
As they call them.
It's amazing. It's a great benefit for Dade County. This isn't only the #1 lineman school in Georgia. It's the #1 lineman school in the world. In the world.
They've had people come in from other countries.
Japan and China and Germany and Great Britain are all coming here to learn our techniques, and we are sending people there.
A lot of traveling going on from our people here,
There may be some rumor, and because I don't want to expand on too much, about us opening a school overseas as well. So that's huge.
That's huge. Most everybody, at least, has got electricity, and when you have electricity, you're going to have problems with lines and transformers and trees falling on them. And
so there's always going to be work in that field.
Typhoons.
If you know someone between the ages of 18 and 24 and they are a high school graduate or have their GED and is income-based, there's a program called WIOA through Georgia Northwestern. They can get funding to go to the lineman school. So be sure to check out Georgia Northwestern. Cody's going to play a video. We're going to take a break. When we come back, he's going to play the video. And this is kind of an introduction. It's following 2 students that went through the lineman school. So y'all enjoy the video, and maybe next week we'll do another segment about the lineman school that shows, even more into it. So
thanks for watching, and have a great week.
Bye, Monda.
Bye, Ann.
At Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we're not 9 to 5. We're stay till it's done. And we know working hard to be the best is never easy. That's why we believe you have to work hard and play harder. Get up to 25% off on the 2018 Ram 1500 during Ram Power Days. 109 in stock. So, Come shop Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at our new location on Alabama Highway. Number 1 for a reason.
Stevenson Utilities, serving our customers with water, sewer, and natural gas services. Find out today if all of our services are available in your area. Contact us anytime at stevensonutilities.net or call 437-0277 or see us on Highway 72 at Stevenson Utilities. Stevenson Utilities. And don't forget, you can pay online at stevensonutilities.net.
Folks around these parts have put their trust in the Ponder name for filling their prescriptions for decades. Jennifer Ponder Hicks, Doctor of Pharmacy, continues the tradition of fast, friendly, and personal service at Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy is convenient to our customers between Dobbins and North Sand Mountain School, next to Northeast Alabama Health Services. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy gladly accepts most insurance plans, including Alabama.
Thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes. Tornadoes are moving west at speeds of 75 miles per hour. We advise you to take shelter immediately.
The trip from my house, it was kind of long. It was 10 hours long, and the only way you stay awake and keep focused on driving is keep the radio on, roll your windows down.
Always talking about it and dreaming about it, and I'm finally here. It meant a lot. It was really, really real this time. And on the first day I got here, I went to where I was going to be living at Lee Curriton's, and I was kind of worried about that. I just didn't know what to expect. I've never lived with anybody that I didn't know, ever. She's a chef, so I'm really hoping to get some tips, but not no fat grams. Tips, not tip to scale.
SLTC kind of stands out because of the curriculum that we have. So when a guy graduates from Southeast Lineman Training Center, they have the ability and they know what to expect. Boils down to knowledge, discipline, and ability. We push them hard, we train them hard. On a scale of 1 to 10, if you got a guy that's an 8 and you got a guy that's a 3, you fuss at them both equal amount. You want the 8 to be a 12 and you want the 3 to be as high as you can get him. Our expectations are extremely high. We're hardly ever satisfied, no matter how good they are. We always want them to be better. And when the guys get out in the workforce, they stand out to most companies.
When I finally got into Trenton, Georgia and seen SLTC coming up ahead, I was really anxious and ready to pull in the driveway and get inside and get started. You know, when I came inside and started getting ready and registration and stuff, the staff around here is awesome.
Guess we just go stand in line, right? Came to the school and met most of the instructors and a lot of the people, actually all the people that work here. Stood in line for for a while to get registered.
Nice to meet you.
Bud.
Welcome.
Yes,
Glad
thank
to
you
have you
very
here.
much. I am Bud Black.
I met George. He's a very nice guy. He shook my hand right away and was glad to have me here. The girls in the office were excited. We always talked to each other on the phone, but never in person. We'd never met, so that was pretty cool.
Bailey McCann. Where are you from, Bailey?
Mount Vernon, Missouri.
The first time I met Bailey, he came in the office and he was introduced to me. You kind of get a first impression off people, and it's not always the right one, but I think it was right with Bailey. I figured you probably knew someone that went to work and had a good job. The reason he was here.
No, I actually found y'all on the internet and looked like the best place to be.
Got a great desire to finish and finish well. And it shows in his actions. Well, good luck to you, man. If I can ever help you the next 15 weeks, just tolerate me.
I appreciate it. Well, my first day out on the pole circles, it was pretty neat. Before I got on the pole, I was just really anxious and just wanted to climb to the top.
I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna hook it like this, okay? All y'all stuff is new and stiff and all that, and it will get loosened up.
When I first met Russell, it was kind of intimidating. He's starting to teach everybody how to climb. And when we first got gaffed up and started getting on the pole, I was thinking, this is gonna be pretty rough.
Some of you going to have to look at your feet a bunch right at the beginning, without a doubt. You need to. Once y'all get better, some of you gonna climb just like it's ready. Once they kind of get used to what they think is gonna go on, they kind of start establishing themselves. I'm gonna be the alpha male of the group, and stuff like that. And I got a little sense of that with Bailey. He was very gung-ho, a little bit cocky, but turns out he can pretty much back it up.
It's just a bigger adrenaline rush when you finally get up there. When he finally let us get up there, it was a different feeling up there than down at the bottom. We took our first step on the poles and got our technique down. He inspires me quite a bit because he did a little bit of helicopter work. And that's what I want to go into.
You're not going to cut the circulation off of your foot. So make sure you don't get it so tight. You're probably going to be in about the 4th or 5th hole, probably about the 4th.
The first day, of course, nerves is always a big thing. And some of them will still put their tools on backwards and put their gaffs to the outside of their feet instead of the inside.
You're probably going to, hopefully you don't gaff yourself, okay? And when you start climbing, if things will gaff you or stab you pretty quick, you won't know you're cut, okay? So if it actually goes in your boot, come down, take your boot off, and let's check it out. These things will cut you pretty bad. I've had a guy cut off his kneecap. Oh, it's been bad, okay?
Yeah, it was just exciting. It felt good to finally be up on the pole. I was anxious. We were only supposed to take a couple small steps. I wanted to climb.
Well, so far it's easier than I expected, but ain't seen nothing yet, I don't reckon.
In our classroom time when I first got here, I thought it'd be difficult and a lot of math and a lot of things to learn in a short period of time, and I didn't think I was going to do very well with that stuff. I just barely skimmed by in high school. Now that I'm here and I'm trying to make a career for myself, the classwork is easy if you listen in class and study afterwards.
Basically, when the students get here, we are PC-10. They are PC-10. They are no more than that. And then as we progress in our circle and stuff like that, I give them little teasers. This is what we're going to be. We're going to eventually be Reds Raiders. Before we move out of the circle, they start getting answers. When are we going to do our tasks? When are we going to get our stickers? When we hang our flag and stuff like that. Basically what I do around the world, it's called. And each student has to climb every pole in the circle. And it's continuous. They don't do 5 here and 5 tomorrow. And they go all the way around until they've climbed all 20 poles in the circle.
I mean, it was rough. It was one of the harder days I've had here. It was hot outside, sweating, your legs cramping up, and you just had to keep pushing through. I knew once we got done with the around the world that things would start being a lot better. I mean, you're not having to do up downs every day because that's what you're learning how to do is climb.
When they get the stickers, and I send the guy up the hanging flag in the middle of a circle, and they're high-fiving each other and stuff like that. I mean, that's when they all get together the best right there. And I want to see that. I want them to root them on and stuff like that. I tell my guys from the very beginning, if he's struggling, don't beat him down, pick him up. Most of these students still surprise me because I see them from day one and then I see them where we're at now. And Bailey, I would have never believed that he'd never climbed before. Because he just, it's almost like I've got to go up this pole and it's almost like he attacks it. Not to an unsafe matter, but it's like he gets up there and is by far the best climber in the group.
Okay, what y'all want to do, get your feet kind of side to side. We're going to shift in our belt.
As a group, always let them take it around, show them one way. The first time we go super slow and pass the ball around each person in the circle. Well, even going the first time, going the slow, they dropped the ball. So I give them that one, okay? So I pick the ball up, throw it back to them, they go back around, and they dropped it again. So then after that, of course, I was getting aggravated because they can't catch a ball going super slow. It started aggravating me really quick.
This is where y'all better start picking up your damn ass. Let's go.
He can be tough, but he has to be tough, so shouldn't nobody take that but with a grain, because he's doing his job.
Shift your hips to me. No, walk up the pole with your feet. Quit leaning.
Yeah, Jason was pretty pissed because we could not get the ball rotated in one good pass all the way around.
So about that time when they got back up, we passed it again, first one through it, dropped the ball, and I just pretty much stopped them, did it again. So we did a bunch of up downs because they can't catch a ball.
Down up! Let's go! Hurry up! Hell.
Yeah, this is probably the worst time I've had it actually with a soccer ball.
I don't know if he was sick of us not being able to catch it or sick of going to retrieve it or both. It's a little awkward. I've been the only gal in a lot of workplaces, and one thing I've learned is you really gotta work harder than you used to because you're trying, it's a big competition. It's all competitive.
Ready? Go! Come on, drop on it. Stick, drop, shift. Stick, drop, shift. There you go. He got you that time.
Damn, man.
Close, though.
What makes it unique is that there's a lot more expected, seems to be, out of a woman than a man when a woman's playing in a man's field. Some things I feel kind of isolated, but that's my choice, Just some things are better left unsaid and unheard. So yeah, there's a few times I'm like, la 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 la. But other than that, not really. I'm here for the same reasons they are. I want to be here just like they do.
It takes a real strong woman. I mean, and this is my perspective. You gotta have it. You gotta be tough, mentally and physically. It's very hard, and You know, and this is just one small step of it. I mean, once they get out of the school and actually get a job, it's 10 times worse.
And once I found out about the school, that was like my biggest goal, my biggest dream, you know, just to get us further ahead, to support my boys all the way through this life, and the people around me, not just my sons, just everybody around me. You know?
Go ahead and put your stuff up. Let's go on the building, because it's fixing to take it fixing.
You know, I mean, I was not eligible for any kind of loans or financial aid or anything like that. Tried to use my dad's GI Bill. Couldn't get no bank loans because you don't have very much, I don't have any credit basically at all. I've been saving money for almost 4 years for this. It was all on me. And then I finally one day just sent the money in for my application and, you know, my lab fees and all that. And like I said, I just prayed really hard and he finally answered it. Called Melissa, we had to make 2 different transactions, and during the second transaction, she told me that, you know, hey, I need you to call Colt. He really wants to talk to you. You know, a guy named Colt, here's his number. He says, hey, did you know we're giving away scholarships? Of course, I'm like fighting the tears back, wanting to just scream, because, you know, I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, oh my God, no way. Finally, you know, finally. It's my turn. Finally got a break, man. You know, all the work paid off and everything, so. Got off the phone and cried and called it everybody that I knew would be proud. And I am glad. Thanks for the break, because I need it. I want it. I've earned it. It's like really happening. It's not like a dream anymore. It's not like just, you know, putting cash in an envelope every paycheck and taking it out and counting it for so long. It's here.
Every instructor here wants it completed faster than the school time allows. And to get the time that fast, everything has got to go just right as far as what they do on top of the pole, as well as the ground.
You've been watching Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of staff nor the management of KWN Community TV Channel 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Join us every week for another edition of Around Town on KWN TV 7.